it's infuriating to see
It is.
this one style, throughout the industry when we're looking at these games. Like, and I know there was a lot of kerfuffle online when Eddie was revealed in, Vita DLC and Tekken 8. Someone actually, tagged me and Blessing to comment on this, because it's like, we're tired of this hairstyle. We have more options, up top.
And that's what's funny about it, is because they're trying to have black characters look black, but they don't look like the black people in black neighborhoods. Isn't that funny? YouTube. What's going on, YouTube? I kind of had a random video pass by my feed, and that's an understatement when I say random. This video is coming from no other than iGameNot, or what they like to call themselves, IGN. And they came up with a video that was kind of interesting. It kind of went under the radar, because they post so much during the day, especially since the PlayStation Access is coming up too. So a lot of people missed this video, but I think it's a very interesting video, and it's called "Why Are Video Game Devs Obsessed with This Hairstyle?" I'm pretty sure you guys know which hairstyle I'm talking about. There's a couple games that came out recently that had the dreadlocks, but a lot of people call it the Killmonger hairstyle, because apparently they think it came from that. And ever since then, a lot of games that have black characters or black main characters have that hairstyle. I kind of understand my brother's gripe with it, but my gripe is a little bit different than his. I listened to the video already, but I think it's good for you guys to hear what he has to say, or just watch the video yourself. But I'm gonna chime in and give my perspective from an artist on why game developers do this, and why it has a disconnect for certain black people who consume this type of entertainment and actually create this entertainment too, like I do. I created black characters, I created white characters, I created a bunch of stuff, right? So there's always going to be a disconnect if something is not culturally represented from you when you see a version of you on screen. So why do he have this disconnect, and why did he talk about this during this video? I'm gonna tell you exactly why during this, and it's a very simple thing for black people to get, not so much for white people or any people outside our culture. But if you are outside this culture, pay close attention, because this is actually gonna make a lot of sense, because it's the same thing with y'all culture too, but ours is a little bit different. Just pay attention to this. So we're gonna get into this video, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly my issue with this hairstyle compared to his issue with this hairstyle. It's completely different.
From 20 to 30 years ago, so I'm happy they did that.
There's something else though that we're neglecting to mention that might turn off a lot of players.
Here we go.
And that's the aesthetic of the main character. That
Okay.
whack ass haircut that the man has. I mean, have we seen this, right? So
I wouldn't say it's
Look how uncomfortable he's getting right. Look at the white guys in the room, but he knows, because you can always tell the white people who who been around black people who really don't tiptoe around like what they say around black people. You get his response. He's very comfortable with this conversation, because he knows where he's coming from. But him, on the other hand, you can just tell he's like one of those dudes who get really awkward around race topics and stuff like that, and he would either choose not to say nothing, or he would just be like how he is right now, just nervously laughing. I kind of find that funny, but you can always tell which ones is different.
It's overused.
No, it is whack. In the video game world, it is whack. IRL, it's okay for you to be rocking that, but I'm talking about in video.
Now, see, where he lost me is when he's saying IRL. You don't speak like that. See, but okay, listen to what you got to say right here, because this is important.
World, it is whack. IRL, it's okay for you to be rocking that, but I'm talking about in video game context, it's whack. I'm tired of it. Y'all gonna have to let me cook, because these game devs need to learn a lesson, and I got a couple of words that I need to share with them. So, like, Black Panther, that movie was released back in 2018. 2018, of course, was when the world was introduced to the Killmonger hairstyle made famous by Michael B. Jordan. And since then, these game devs, I don't know, they just got like in their minds that everybody wants to be like Mike. Like Mike, if I could be like Mike. I was like Mike when I had that hairstyle back in 2018. I don't want to be like Mike no more. I want to be like Akeem. I'm tired of this. You see this movie. You see this movie, and then you want to emulate it. I don't know why. The Prince of Persia game. He's got the Killmonger haircut. In one of my favorite first-person tactical shooters, Valorant, Phoenix. That character is rocking the Killmonger joint. And then my personal favorite game of last year, Spider-Man 2. They slapped the haircut on my man Miles. Why they do that? They butchered my boy. And in the upcoming DLC, the first DLC coming to Tekken 8, Eddie Gordo, that character has the same haircut. Now I got one question for
Let me stop it right here. The reason why I personally cannot stand this haircut, and the reason why I can't stand it is because it's not realistic because of what it represents. Let me put it like this, right? That haircut is a clear lack of understanding on what we think of ourselves as black people. Because where I come from, I have never once ran into an Eddie Gordo or Miles Morales or Prince of Persia style or Killmonger style haircut in the real life at all. I have not ran into that. And people from where I'm from know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not used to seeing Miles Morales. I'm not used to seeing the Eddie Gordos and stuff like that. I'm used to seeing Franklin from GTA. That's what I see. And it's okay to be... See, the thing is with being artistic with something that you're creating, especially when you're creating characters, you automatically have this thought process on trying to be unique and different and stuff like that. Sometimes being realistic is not being unique. I'm just keeping it real with you. It's not an anime. But the thing is, if you are striving for representing black people realistically, it's okay to fit stereotypes, because we do fit stereotypes. It's just true. Why do you think Japanese people with their animes create completely different hairstyles that don't even exist in their real life? It's because when you have a culture or a group of people who identify as the same people or whatever the fuck, right? You grow up in the same environments. You grow up around the same thought process, all that type of stuff. You're bound to have stereotypes that people notice that a particular group of people all do and partake in. I'm used to waves. There's not really that much that we can do with our hair. Let's just keep it real. I'm just being real with you. We use there's like 3 different hairstyles that we have. We have the I don't particularly see froze that much. I see the waves. I see what I got. I see the Chief Keefs. You guys know what I'm talking about with Chief Keef. The dreads and shit, right? The T Grizzlies, all that type of stuff. That's what we're used to. Period. That's the generic hairstyles, and there's nothing wrong with being generic. But when you come with creating a game or something that, is artistic to where you're trying to, create something brand new, you tend to fall in the category to where it's like it's not realistic because we don't really see that. You're just trying to be different. And the people who consult on this type of stuff are people who aren't from where black people are actually from. So you end up creating something that's a disconnect. That's the only reason why he has an issue with this, is because I'm pretty sure he grew up around black people. That's the reason why he's even complaining about this hairstyle. But he said he rocked it. But the thing is, we don't see those haircuts on a daily basis at all. I don't even run into them. Maybe y'all's is different. If you live in New York or something like that, I'm pretty sure people are more expressive out there in New York. But where I'm from, you wouldn't be caught dead wearing that hairstyle, especially in the hood where I'm from. But if you're from the suburbs, I can see more of that because you're more trying to... What's the best way to put this for people to understand? Black people know exactly what I'm talking about, though. But the black people who never grew up in the hood and they lived in the suburbs, you would see them expressing themselves a little bit more than the people from the hood would be. The only hairstyles that we do is this just fresh haircut or the dreads, and that's it. You won't really see the Miles Morales and the Eddie Gordo and that type of shit type hair. No, you won't see it at all. You will see it in the suburban areas, the nicer neighborhoods, because they have time to think about expressing themselves. We don't. I get what he's saying. And the reason why developers don't do that, stick to that same hairstyle, is because it's safe and it was working before. And to tell you the truth, they just don't know what else to do. It's just an artistic thing that they saw work before. They're like, okay, this is popular, so we're going to do this, X, Y, and Z. But it is a disconnect. So I do get why he's frustrated. I'm frustrated in a different way, because it's like it's clearly made from somebody who does not understand what black people actually connect with. And there's nothing wrong with that too. That's why you got to consult people. But you know who did it right? GTA. GTA is not afraid of being offensive. It's not afraid of being a stereotype. And because they're not afraid of being a stereotype, they get realistic shit and realistic representations completely accurate. Like I said before, when I watched the GTA trailer, I've never seen NPCs that look so much like real life, because they're trying to be stereotypical to convey a satirical message, and they end up being more realistic than these games that trying to uniquify us. Sorry, real life is not unique. A lot of people try to be like other people. A lot of people try, especially when you're part of a culture, you're not going to find too many differences when it comes to a certain group of people. It's not going to happen.
To ask you, Eddie, are you okay? Can you tell us that you're okay? Because the looks of your haircut, they butchered you with them dreadlocks, Eddie. And I don't mean to turn this into like a Michael Jackson parody song, but I'm just
Now, see, the thing with Eddie, I can see Eddie wearing it more than anything. He's Jamaican. Jamaica, you will find that. They're dreadheads over there. That's what they have. So Eddie Gordo, he's more akin to have that hairstyle than I would say a Miles Morales. Period. I don't know why Miles is wearing it. Yeah, I do. Spider-Man is woke anyway. So they're trying to show culture within Miles and end up showing no culture at all because it's not realistic. That's not what we wear. Or anywhere in the type of neighborhoods that Miles was even at. It's not going to happen. Sorry, but because they're trying to be culturally, and this is what happened with a lot of black people from the suburbs when they work for these companies and stuff, they really don't know what actual black people from black neighborhoods actually think. They can try to think, but then you end up getting a Miles haircut. Besides just having him have his haircut that he had in the first game. I don't know why they went with that hairstyle. I don't know why. The old Miles was actually more realistic. But they had to,
of seeing this damn hairstyle made famous by the other Michael permeating through some of my favorite video games. And I guess, honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm just, like, disappointed because as a black man, that has gone through several hair transformations just in my appearances here on camera at IGN. That alone should showcase the varied hairstyles that we're able to achieve. And honestly, while, the Killmonger dreads, they were once the new hotness, they're not the only hotness. Like, we got cornrows, afro fades, longer dreads in which you can style in various ways, baby locks, finger waves, flat tops, short tops, mop tops. Y'all, all the tops. Now, we need to tell the game developers to stop and just consult people with a little bit more melanin in their skin.
Here's the thing, though. They are. Like I said before, it's not about the melanin in their skin. I'm pretty sure there's black people that they talk to. It's just black people that aren't from black neighborhoods. I'm just going to be real with you. Most of the people black people know exactly what I'm talking about. There are two types of black people. There are black people who never been around black people who've been in the suburbs, and there's black people who've been around black people their entire life in the hood. There's two versions of us. And there's versions that the black people who've never been around black people are the ones who try the hardest to be black. They try the hardest to be black around white people or around different cultures and groups and stuff like that. They're the ones who are the activists. They're the one who's trying to be in tune with their black roots and stuff. So they are the ones who are consoling these decisions. And when it comes to black people who just are from black neighborhoods, we see this shit and we like, nigga, we don't look like this. What are you talking about? What are you doing? They are consoling black people. They're just consoling the wrong ones. But those are the ones who are getting into the industry. So I don't blame them for consoling them. It's the fact that the regular black people, if we want to actually make change or do things that really represent us, we need to start taking these career paths besides just the ones that we always take all the time. And you guys know which ones I'm talking about. So in order for us to make change, we need to start the regular black people who actually are a part of black communities. We need to begin in the industries and making change and shifts and stuff. GTA is doing it correctly. So we need to be doing it, more stuff besides playing basketball and rapping. If you guys want to be more represented into the industry. Sorry, I'm just telling the truth.
Call Akeem.
On different hairstyles. Yes, call me.
Just, look online.
1-800-IGN. I don't know what the number is. Do we have a number?
FaceTime. I don't think it's 1-800-IGN. I think you need like five or six more numbers there.
But they'll figure it out. Just call me. Seriously. Because, honestly, it's infuriating to see this one style, throughout the industry when we're looking at these games. Like, and I know there was a lot of kerfuffle online when Eddie was revealed in, Vita DLC and Tekken 8. Someone actually, tagged me and Blessing to comment on this because it's like, we're tired of this hairstyle. We have more options, up top. I just named a bunch of them.
It's like how before this hairstyle, we black characters, you had a bald fade, a oversized fro, or cornrows. That was it.
Yeah.
And it was I don't know what game developer went to all these studios and be like, cornrows is the main black hairstyle. There's so many different nuanced versions of hairstyles for black characters to have, and it's just really sad that they all leap to one and then it's like, oh, they did it, let's do that too. And
it's so funny how none of them are talking about Raven. Raven is actually a character in Tekken 2, and he has the blade haircut though. So it's like the regular black hairstyle, but just a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? With different cuts in it. So Raven technically has the regular black hairstyle, but they're not mentioning him. They're mentioning Eddie because that hairstyle is so jarring for black people who come from black communities, because we don't see that shit in real life at all. We don't. We only see it if we go to the suburbs or go to, you know, like places to where it's not predominantly black. And that's what's funny about it, is because they're trying to have black characters look black, but they don't look like the black people in black neighborhoods. Isn't that funny? So that's the point I'm trying to make with this, is the fact that generic is not always bad. Generic is sometimes realistic. I'm pretty sure white people have a specific hairstyle that a lot of white dudes wear. That's considered stereotypical white dude, right? And I bet you there's a bunch of Asian hairstyles that's stereotypical Asian hairstyle, right? White girls got the same thing. I would say, like, every culture has a thing that's stereotypically that they do and that everybody does. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's a part of your culture. It's part of your, you know, how y'all operate. There's nothing wrong with being generic. And sometimes when artists try to take the route of being the most creative and just coming up with different hairstyles, even when they don't have to. If you're creating a character, there's nothing wrong with him being generic. That will actually, if you're going for a realistic route, that will actually make your character look more realistic. Not this freaky, crazy ass hairstyle that is actually found in the anime. Now, anime is a different story, but when you're trying to represent a culture like how black people always do, black people always try to represent us in some type of way. They end up not representing us at all because they're trying to be too unique. Being too unique is not always a good thing. It's not always realistic. And that's my point with this. So I kind of found this video interesting. If you guys want to watch the rest of this, they go into another subject after this too. So that's the reason why I'm stopping it right here. But I just found this very, very intriguing to talk about. And I never would expect IGN to even touch base on this at all. So we got our disagreements for different reasons. But yeah, that's about all I got for today. So peace out.